Hello, welcome to my first vaguely informative video. I just want to preface that this is not going to be a very long or in-depth discussion. It is more introducing you to a type of doll that you might not be familiar with or you haven't really seen around. I swear to God I bought scissors in here. I did. Sorry. And we are going to be unboxing, hence the scissors, my newest one. So let's just get right into it. I've been excited about making this video for a while, but I wanted to have something to show you brand new. This is a very surface level introduction. There is not actually much information out there about Lollipop girls. Please don't fall over, Nina. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'll just move my notes noisily across the table. So Lollipop girls were introduced, created, produced in about 2021 to 2022, and they hit the market in 2023. They were retired after 2 seasons in 2024, although I imagine they would have still been available for a little while after that. I have some of Wave 2 and some of Wave 1. So they are made out of a vinyl polymer. They are collector's dolls. I mean, I imagine you could play with them, but they don't really have much posability in the way of her hand is permanently in lollipop gripping, and the knees don't bend. I suppose you could. They are very beautiful dolls. Play with them, but mostly this is a collector item because they were created, imagined into being by Jan McLean, who is a porcelain doll designer from New Zealand. She started making dolls in the late 80s and didn't retire until about 2009, a couple of years after they came out. So visually, you can see some of the facial features of a porcelain doll, I guess. In the Lollipop girls, they do have a very distinct face. They have a very distinct body as well, which is not porcelain. But their faces, their eyes, their lips, they do have Jan's influence in them. They were made by a company called Unimax, which I cannot find very much information about. Looks like they were more in kit making than doll making, but they made the Lollipop girls. There are actually 2 versions of the Lollipop girls. So these were originally 25-inch porcelain dolls. These are 12-inch, and they are exact replicas of the larger versions. So this is a relatively available version. If you're in Australia, you're looking at paying about $50 for one doll plus shipping. You may get lucky. I did with my new one. I got her for $30 in an auction. I think about $50 for the other 3 plus shipping that I paid, and they come in various stages of openness and completion. So those are all of my facts that I was able to find. Let me noisily move that. Although I imagine since Ex-Canadensis recently got her hands on some, that these are probably on Dollect if you want to learn more. I'm interested in these dolls because they're so unique. They're so different. They're so visual. So this is Nina from New York. She is my most complete doll. She came completely boxed, never had been opened. So she does have the Lollipop Girls stand. It's just plastic. It's got a leg grip and the logo, which is a very flowery font with a lollipop. They all have fabric clothes, fabric shoes, and fairly high quality accessories. So Nina has sunglasses, which I did put around her neck. They're fairly basic plastic sunglasses. But she has a faux denim jacket, a sparkly singlet, a little plastic belt with rhinestones, faux denim pants, and her metallic silver plastic bottom but fabric boots. And she was my third that I got. We'll move backwards, so I need to stop pushing things across the table. The next one is, sorry ladies, my favourite. So this is Bebe from Barbados. She has probably the best colour scheme, I think. Again, fabric shoes, but with purple frill tassel on the top. A satin dress with the tassel again. I think this is a Kaiser stand. Sequin choker. Now, this lollipop, I have 3 of them. My first Lollipop girl had a different one, but it seems that this is the most common lollipop. So they all come with a lollipop. They're the Lollipop girls. I'm not sure it means anything. I think it's just a cute addition. Bebe was clearly marked for sale at some sort of toy market, doll market, hence the Kaiser stand. And she also had labels on her box. They're quite tall as well. Very long legs. They're models. They are meant to look like models. But I think Bebe's hair definitely makes her stand out. It is quite unusual for a fashion doll to have short green spiked hair. So the next one we're going to have a look at is Lulu. Lulu from London. Yes, she has tape on the back of her head. This video is not about how she arrived with her head completely detached from her body. So all of mine are fairly stiff in the joints apart from Nina. They are over 20 years old, so they look amazing for the age that they're at. They all have wonderfully soft hair. They all have very uniquely painted faces. They all have fabric shoes. Lulu's are in a pleather material with ribbons. I also think she's got a very nice lilac coloured hair. And her outfit is definitely one of my favourites. So those are my existing open Lollipop girls. And now we are going to open together Susie K from Seattle. Hopefully these scissors don't fail me. So I'm under the impression that this doll has never been opened. She's still taped in place. She has her stand. Her lollipop is still taped to the back of the packaging, although the packaging has bowed in at the bottom, which is exactly the same thing that happened to Nina. So I imagine it's a fairly common issue. Susie has a very wintry theme about her, and she gives you a big hello. So we will get into this a bit later, but the Lollipop girls have the most unhinged biographies that I have ever read about any doll. They come metal tied into their boxes. And then everything else is held with sticky tape. The cardboard display of the box is metallic, like a mirror, because they're models. I'm just throwing plastic at myself at this point. You could very easily put one of these dolls back in the box. For Bebe and Lulu, although they did come in their box, one, Lulu was very damaged, and two, Bebe was not secured in place, but she was undamaged and with a replacement stand. And hopefully I'm speaking loud enough over the sounds of me pretending that I'm not struggling. So I'm going to pull these ties out, and then I'm going to use my scissors to cut her hat out and hope that they actually do something, because they are paper scissors. So like I said, these dolls are fairly high quality compared to, say, your Barbies. No offense, Mattel. Who's holding you in? Ah. So, right off the bat, I can tell you that her hat and her scarf are made out of a crushed velvet-esque material, and she has incredibly vibrant blue hair, and her coat needs a wash because it has bits on it. Scarf is also attached to her coat. So, pull out her hair, make her look windswept. I've never been to Seattle, so I don't know if it's windy. There she is. There's little Susie K, fresh out of her box. I am so sorry. She has snake print boots that go to about here. So ankle boots. She has a dead bug on her, but she's still in pretty good nick. It's just the coat needs a wash. I will turn the camera around at the end so you can have a better look at all of their faces and their interesting hair colours. Susie also comes with her stand, which is exactly the same as Nina's. Let me know if I've made enough background noise in this video. There you go, exactly the same. But what I do want to show you is some of the bios, because they're quite out of pocket. Has anyone ever eaten one of these? Not the toy. You know, like one of the state fair lollipops. Has anyone ever actually finished one? because I think I've had one in my life, but I don't think I finished it. Also, I'm hypoglycemic, so I probably shouldn't have tried. Sorry, this is going to make noise. So this is the second wave booklet. The first wave booklet is quite different. I don't have one. I don't think I have one. So here you go. You can see all of their little faces on the front from waves 1 and 2. And inside you've got advertisements for the fashion packs, of which I have none. And their bios. So there are 12 girls. I'm going to read the bios of the dolls that I have. So this is Lulu's bio. Born in the south of England, but raised in London, Lulu calls Monaco home these days. This famous face of perfume has graced the covers of some of the world's leading magazines. Curiously, Lulu herself finds little time to read. When she's not working, you're more likely to find her out on the water, sailing or jet skiing, or at a trackside watching her boyfriend, the Formula One driver, Yves Carl, I think. Lulu says the woman she admires most is Audrey Hepburn, for her poise and elegance, and the timeless way in which she continues to fascinate and to charm. Lulu has big plans for her life after modelling. She and, I think it's Yves, or Yves, already own an upmarket organic cafe and have plans to expand the business throughout Europe one day. People crave a more natural life. My goal after modelling is to create and serve food that people love and know is simply good for them. Next is Cassie from California. What's about to come out of my mouth is not a lie. Pippi LaPoo from Paris. I get that everybody hates French people, but that's, like, let's chill a little bit. Bridget from Berlin. Bebe from Barbados, who I will read for you. Her dark, brooding looks have held the world spellbound. Tall and slightly mysterious, Bebe is the reigning queen of cosmetics, an in-demand beauty whose contracts are literally worth millions of dollars a year. Originally from Barbados, she now calls a huge loft in uptown New York her home. The third daughter in a family of 9 children, Bebe was discovered working at a resort and moved to the States. Introduced to the top model agencies in the country, she has never looked back. Today, the 18-year-old is booked every day of her working year for the next 3 years. But there's another side to this famous face that most people don't see. Bebe is also an animal lover and devoted conservationist. The rainforests are such a precious resource, she says. We have to do all we can to allow humanity and nature to coexist in harmony. This one's a little bit different. So, for me, and I imagine for people who are from New Zealand, we get Sassy from Sydney. Sassi. But it appears that the American audience got Sissy from Australia with a C, C-I-S-S-Y. And I'm not really sure why that is, because they are all alliterations. So, America, what are you doing? Susie K from Seattle. She is one of the most fascinating models on the international fashion circuit. Susie K has an allure that international advertisers simply cannot resist, and fashionistas all over the world hang on her every move. Yet the enigmatic citizen of Seattle never gives interviews and refuses to discuss her private life. Other models may arrive by limousine, but not Susie K. She often rides to work on a bright blue scooter. Susie K's taste in clothes is equally mysterious. She can be seen out and about in outrageous outfits, like the fully fitted space suit she wore to the Oscars. or she can appear dressed in just jeans and a simple top and look absolutely stunning. The photographers and fashion magazines love her. You always know when Susie Kay's around because the press gallery is abuzz with excitement. She says very little by the way of words, says a friend, but Susie Kay always makes a statement. The less she tells you, the more you feel you simply have to know. My foot went to sleep. I'll read Nina's last. We also have Millie from Milan, Kimmy from Kathmandu, who's not actually from Kathmandu, and Alani from Auckland. Sorry, I missed Nicole from Norway. Kimmy from Kathmandu is from Wales. So, Nina from New York. Born in Manhattan's East Side, Nina is the bright star that everyone is watching. Her stunning magazine spreads and front page covers have been hailed as the work of a major new talent. Sassy, smart, and devilishly witty, Nina is much sought after, but only works part-time. Currently, she attends a prestigious university and plans for a career in science. The modelling work she receives has abundantly paid for her education. Because of her other commitments, Nina tends to work only in the city in which she's been raised. New York has a pace all its own. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's full-on excitement. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's full-on excitement. It demands everything from you, yet gives so much back. In the little time that she's not working or studying, Nina continues to renovate the apartment she purchased overlooking Central Park. That's the thing about New York. It's so new all the time, and yet there are so many things to remind you of the past. A student who can buy an apartment in New York. It's very fantastical, that's the thing. All of their bios are very fantastical. So, incredibly dusty Susie Kay. Lulu with her, to be honest, her head's attached with Q-tips, super glue, and blue tack. I had to make her a new net peg. Net. It's Friday. My fully complete Nina. And Bebe, whose shoes don't actually fit her. Let me not cover the camera with my hand and make a fool of myself. Or I could do it multiple times because that's my left hand and my left hand doesn't work properly. Hi. I will turn the camera around. I'll give you a look at them close up, but I will say thank you for watching. I hope you learnt something. Maybe you will get into them yourself. Just leave some for me. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in the next video. So here we have Nina, N-E-E-N-A, Nina. Rhinestones on her belt and rhinestones on her pants. Purple lips, blue eyes, hazel eyes, and brown hair. I have hazel eyes. Next up we have Lulu, who has little buttons and a flower. I put her on Susie's stand because Susie can't actually use her stand, her coat is too thick. Lulu has pink lips, grey eyes, and lilac hair. They also all have stud earrings. Here's Bebe. She has flowers on her dress and more sequins. She also has hazel eyes, a darker pink lip, and electric green hair. And then Susie. you can see there's a bit of a problem there. But otherwise, she isn't too bad apart from her coat. You can see the crushed velvet texture of her hat. She has peach lips, blue eyes-ish, and blue hair. Very beautiful, very unique dolls. So thank you, Jan.